Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante, bringing up the truth below Wayne Manor, somewhere in the outskirts of Gotham City. We are making Gotham great again here because I'm sorry, there's just so much BS surrounding what's happening in Russia and Ukraine. As I have said, I'll be very clear on this. I do not like what Putin is doing. This is an illegal invasion. I don't want him bombing people. I'm against war. I'm 100% against war. That's who I am. I'm against war. I'm an anti-war, pro-labor socialist, which means there's no room for me in the Democratic Party and certainly not the Republican Party. And if you watch like the Republicans and the Democrats fight over this, like Fox and CNN, it's never, why are we at war? Why are we spending so money at war? Why are we supporting all of these wars? It's always, they're just, the Republicans are like, oh, Biden's not doing war the right way. And when Trump was in office, the Democrats were like, boy, Trump's not doing war the right way. It's never, why are we at war? Because it's good for business. And just look at the money flowing in here. And again, if you're against Russia's war crimes and you're saying they're committing war crimes in Ukraine, okay, totally. Then why isn't American war crimes? Over 210,000 children have died as a result of the war in Yemen that was started by Saudi Arabia, but has been completely backed by the United States under Obama, Trump, and now Biden. 3 presidents from 2 political parties have backed that war. 377,000 Yemeni people are dead overall. 210,000 of them are children. That is offensive. So I stand with Ukraine, but I can't really stand with Yemen or Syria or Afghanistan or the Palestinians. Then I can't stand for all of that. This is the selective outrage of America, drives me insane. But this is the New York Times here. War in Ukraine rallies support in Congress for more military spending, a bipartisan consensus. What do I tell you on the show? When you hear bipartisan, the American people, the regular people in America, we're getting screwed. Anytime you hear bipartisan, that means both parties are agreeing to take money away from you and spend it on their rich friends. In this case, the defense industry. A bipartisan consensus in Congress to increase the Pentagon's budget is growing stronger as Russia's invasion of Ukraine has created a sense of insecurity. We really need more money? So the democratically controlled Congress in December approved a $768 billion war budget. It went over to the Senate. The Senate didn't approve 768. They approved a $778 billion war budget. They gave Biden an extra $10 billion without even asking for it. And now we need more money for, we don't have enough money for war. We don't have free healthcare in this country, something Western Europe has had for over 70 years. We don't have, we could have student debt forgiveness. Nope, can't do that. Biden didn't mention Medicare for all or student debt forgiveness in his State of the Union speech. We should be spending all this money on green energy, putting people to work with green jobs. No, it's got to be war, war, war. Why do you think when any coverage of the corporate media, it doesn't matter, Fox, MSNBC, it doesn't matter. Their coverage is, oh, Putin's out of control. Putin's out of control. They don't cover Yemen. They don't cover Yemen. And we're talking about, oh, he's bombed a news outlet. Putin doesn't care about freedom, and he's censoring in the Russian he's censoring the media and the Russian people to the Russian people. Okay, maybe let's say all of that's true. So are we. Speaking of censorship, where's anybody, Julian Assange? This is just Lee Camp just put this out. While the U.S. scrubs all anti-war, anti-imperialism voices from its airwaves, it also just got one step closer to securing a lifetime of torture for the most accurate publisher who ever lived, Julian Assange. Nothing WikiLeaks published was ever proven false. WikiLeaks has 0 retractions. There's not a news organization on the face of the earth that can make that claim, except WikiLeaks. U.S. Supreme Court slams the door on WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange's appeal. Extradition requests may go to British Home Office for approval. This is the same office that backs expansion of Official Secrets Act, which endangers press freedom in the UK. So this journalist died in Ukraine a day or two ago. He was a Western journalist, and it's a tragedy. And everyone's like, this is awful. Yes, it's awful. A journalist died in a war zone. That's awful. But what about the one-sidedness of this is insane. Oh, Putin is censoring his own citizens. Why is RT America shut down? They might have it's a Russian propaganda. It's definitely backed by Russia, but it's a different narrative. Don't you want to hear? That's not a free society. If you can't hear free press, different points of view, I want to hear what Al Jazeera has to say. I want to hear what Press TV has to say out of Iran. I want to hear what Russia Today, what RT has to say. I watch Fox News every once in a while, and I think most Fox News, what they say is bullshit. I think most of MSNBC and CNN is complete bullshit. But are we going to censor them? And we want to censor. So just the message is real clear. Russia's censoring and bombing civilians, that's bad. But when America censors and when America bombs civilians, it's totally okay because it's good for business. I've shown you this before. I'll show it to you again. This is the top recipients by the defense industry in 2020. Joe Biden, number one, $3.1 million. Donald Trump, 2.7. Bernie Sanders, at two, Bernie, at two, 800,000. Bunch of Republicans and Democrats all got money. They spent $49 million, the defense industry, just on the 2020 campaign. But where do they get the money? How does the defense industry get it? Oh, there's this too. House passes $1.5 trillion spending plan, Ukraine aid in, COVID funding out. This just happened last week. It received bipartisan support, 361 to 69. 100 members of the Progressive Caucus couldn't agree to block. They can't. Always got money for war and nothing for COVID stimulus. I know somebody who lost their job. Their job got shut down during COVID, and they're still today not working. March 2022, not working. It's been 2 years. Their unemployment ran out in September because everybody's unemployment ended in September. No stimulus for them. Any small business owner that got an SBA loan or a PPP loan, those should be forgiven because they're forgiven to the big Wall Street companies. Giant companies are getting huge 7-8 figure forgiveness on their loans. Tom Brady, who just came out of retirement again, got a $900,000 stimulus plan and then bought a yacht with it. But we're being told we got to pay more at the pump to stick it to Putin. Really? Because the oil companies, have they been hurting for money? Oh, no, they have not. Oil companies' profits soared $174 billion this year as U.S. gas prices rose. Exxon, Chevron, Shell, and BP among group of 24 who resisted calls to increase production but doled out shareholder dividends. This was in December. Oh, weird. Oh, war. We need war. Hey, American people, you got to pay more at the pump. Why? Oh, Russia. It's nonsense. It's complete BS that we can't get oil. We've got to shut off. We got to sanction Putin. So everybody's got to tighten their belts. Well, they're not. Why should you have to? We have enough money to why can't we just end homelessness? Oh, we're too busy giving money to Ukraine and bombing countries like Syria and Iran. And we're not calling out the war crimes of the Israelis. We're not calling out the war crimes of the United States military. If the international community held America as accountable for its war crimes as they're doing to Russia, we wouldn't have sent a team to any international sporting event for the last 20 years. Americans, we would have nowhere to travel. Countries would just seal us off. We couldn't go anywhere. I mean, where could we travel? We couldn't do any international travel. If the whole world said, "Oh, we're just done with America's war crimes," who would let us travel anywhere? Since the Russian invasion, the cost to produce wind energy has gone up $0.00. No one else is talking about this. You got to come listen to a surfing vegan comedian doing a show in his apartment wearing a collared shirt I bought at Ross to tell you this. Do they not have access to the internet at CNN and Fox? Do they just don't have internet there? So they just can't go look this up? Do they not know where Yemen is on a map? Like, why is it so challenging for them to talk about this? Facebook saying it's okay to commit hate crimes against Russian citizens, blaming Russian citizens for this? If we're going to do that, then American citizens, we should all be getting our asses kicked by every other person in the world. Anytime we go out anywhere outside of this country, we should get our asses kicked just for being Americans, if that's the logic we're going to use. Again, I'm not happy. I wish Putin would pull out. I get out of there. But the U.S., the war crimes we commit, the money we spend money on NATO. We've helped provoke this war. And you know who's suffering? Do the Ukrainian people know they're being used by the United States? I'm against war. So I'm against anyone that's starting it, pushing it, profiting from it, which means I'm against Putin. I'm against the US and NATO. I'm against the defense industry. I'm against like the Azov Brigade, which is a bunch of neo-Nazis. So suddenly we're okay with neo-Nazis when they're fighting Russia. The innocent victims here are the Ukrainian people. All the people in the border countries, the Russian people, they didn't do this. They have no say in this. Call your representatives and say you're against this increase in war budget. No one is advocating for peace. Nobody. The Republicans are like mad that Biden isn't sending fighter jets over there or whatever. They're just nuts. And the Democrats are like, well, war is okay when we do it. Like, it's just preposterous. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth, folks. I'm an anti-war, pro-labor socialist, which is why I don't vote, did not vote. The last two presidential elections, I didn't vote for either party. I voted third party and will continue to do so. Look what the democratically controlled Congress and the democratically controlled Senate just did. More money for war. A $1.5 trillion bailout, no money for COVID relief. Still struggling because of COVID? Sorry. We have to do more wars. Good luck. Your business go belly up? Not my fault. You facing eviction or foreclosure because the government, your job got shut down because of COVID? Not our problem, man. We gotta stir up a war. I hope Zelensky wises up to how the U.S. is playing him and does it for his own people and says, you got it, Putin. I'm not going to join NATO. We're not going to bring NATO troops here. You know, stop bombing us. According to Zelensky, there's been about 1,300 Ukrainian soldiers have died and about 13,000 Russian soldiers have died. I don't know if those numbers are accurate. I don't know what's accurate. It's hard to say what's accurate because all sides are putting out propaganda. So I don't know what's what. I don't know who. It's hard to believe and get even accurate anything from anybody. But I do know one thing's for certain. War is awful. And anytime there's a war, a handful of rich people profit and regular people's lives get destroyed. And that's what's happening again. And the outrage of the West is a little hypocritical considering all the awful shit that's happening. Why won't we just show us exactly, cover Yemen the way we're covering Ukraine? Show us all the civilians getting bombed. Show us who's dropping the bombs. Show us who's paying for the bombs. Can you do that, Western media? Oh, that's right. You can't because you're utterly corrupted in the pocket of them. Because then you're going to see an ad right after the Ukrainian thing. We're going to see an ad for Boeing or an ad for Raytheon, or they're going to bring up some military expert that now works for one of these defense contractors. So they profit from war. So it benefits them to keep pushing it. Shave your knuckles for justice, man. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. We are still in our 9th month of demonetization from YouTube. So support what we're doing at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's free to sign up and there's a premium level at $10 a month. And for that, you get everybody on the platform's premium content. Myself, Lee Camp, Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, and many, many others. You can also support what we're doing at Venmo at Graham-Elwood. and go to grahamelwood.com. We have a PayPal button and a P.O. box. I also have crypto wallets, which are all in the show notes. Thanks for supporting what we do.